How many of you have opened Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok before even getting out of bed this morning? Many of us do, and we rarely realize what the constant scrolling is actually doing to us. Today, I will explain how social media, despite its popularity and convenience, ultimately causes more harm than good. This matters because almost every single one of us in this room use social media daily, and the effects on our mental health, relationships, and how we connect with others shape our lives every day. As young adults living in a digital world, it is important that you know how these apps influence your well-being, your relationships, and even your decision-making. Knowing the harm allows you to make better decisions when using technology every day. As someone who has researched social media's psychological and social effects from multiple classes and has personally seen the impacts on peers, relationships, and mental health, I can confidently say the negative consequences are real and widespread. Today, I will discuss 3 major ways that social media harms us. First, how passive use can negatively affect our mental well-being. Second, how it can encourage harmful behavior. And third, how it can weaken our real-life social connections. First, let's look at how research on social media started and how it revealed about our mental health. Social media started small, but quickly. It became powerful enough for researchers to see its negative effects, especially on young people. Early research only looked at how much people spent on apps, but that soon changed as platforms grew and became part of everyday life. Researchers discovered that the real issue was how people use social media, not just how long they were on it. And does passive social media use harm well-being? An adversarial review, Muir and Krauss 2022, passive social media use, scrolling through content without interacting, can negatively affect well-being by promoting social comparison and envy, which may contribute to lower self-esteem and increase body dissatisfaction. As social media grew from Facebook to Instagram and now TikTok, the harmful psychological effects expanded. Researchers saw that the platform's designs encouraged constant comparisons and unrealistic standards. This matters because young people became the group most affected by comparison-based context. Today, the constant exposure to curated images and videos intensifies, like anxiety, depression, and body dissatisfaction. Next, let's look at something even more serious: how social media exposes young people to harmful behaviors. Research shows how online self-harm images and discussions can affect young people both negatively and positively. Studies show that self-harm images online can have harmful effects. According to Harmful and Helpful Effects of Viewing Self-Harm Content Online, a systematic review, SUSE 2023, viewing self-harm images online frequently leads to emotional distress, triggering, increased urges, social comparison, and escalation of self-harm behavior. Harmful effects were far more common than protective ones. Similarly, a systematic review of social media used to discuss a view of deliberate self-harm reacts, Dyson 2016, found that social media can normalize and encourage self-harm, expose users to triggers, suicidal discussions, and live depictions of self-harm, creating an environment where harmful behaviors feel acceptable. Although rare, some studies show that social media can have protective influences. This shows that while social media can occasionally reduce distress, it mostly worsens mental health by triggering urges, escalating self-harm, and encouraging harmful social comparisons. This highlights that social media can normalize self-harm and expose users to triggers, but supportive communities also have potential for therapeutic benefits if used necessarily and carefully. Finally, let's talk about something everyone thinks about but no one discusses: how social media affects our real-life relationships and connections. Research shows that social media often replaces face-to-face interactions with shallow digital communication. In Social Media Building Connections or Breaking Bonds, Singh and Rathore 2021, the authors argue that heavy social media use reduces the amount of meaningful time young people spend with friends and family. Similarly, Amidi 2015 and the Impact of Social Media on Society explains that social media creates a false sense of connection while increasing feelings of social isolation. This shows that relying on online platforms can make people feel alone despite having hundreds of online friends. Social media can distort real-life relationships by promoting curated and performative identities. In Digital Media, Youth and Social Interactions, Cho 2019, the author highlights that constant online self-presentation makes authentic face-to-face communication harder for younger people. When users hide behind carefully curated profiles, real-life interactions lose honesty and emotional resonance. Cho 2019 also emphasizes that the resilience on virtual feedback, likes, comments, and shares can undermine real-world trust and rational depth. This suggests a long-term effect. The next generation may struggle to form strong, genuine connections offline. Today, we uncovered how social media harms us in 3 major ways. Passive scrolling damages our mental health. Harmful content, especially self-harm injury, can escalate dangerous behaviors, and constant online interaction weakens our real-life relationships and sense of connection. These effects are not small, but they are not rare. They are happening to people our age every single day. But the power to change this is in your hands. Social media is designed to pull your attention, shape your emotions, and make you compare your life to someone else's highlighted reel. If you do not set boundaries with it, it will quietly control how you think, feel, and connect. So take back that control. Protect your mental health by unfollowing accounts that drain you. Limit the scrolling that leaves you feeling empty. Choose real connections over notifications. Choose people over posts. Because your life should not just look good online, it should feel good in reality. You deserve relationships that are real, confidence that is not based on likes, and a life that is not filtered or controlled by an app. Start choosing that life today. Thank you.